guys, very good evening. So all of you, today I am going to describe a topic why student with suicide in India. I am not alone today. My friend Kailash and Rahul in with me. So guys, the many more reasons, but the main reason according to me, so doing committed suicide to student is like forcefully choosing career. Like in student career, many more parents and teachers to student to forcefully choosing a subject. Like if anyone want to reading literature and anything else, but his parents and teachers to force to select like science and more conventional courses. Due to that reason, student not do very well perform in that field. That reason is very impactful to doing committed suicide. So, Mr. Kailash, what is saying about this topic?
Well, Mr. Rakesh, thank you very much for giving me the chance to say. Well, committing suicide is being happening everywhere around the world, but in India especially, the young generation of we all are doing the suicides most. The reason, there are many more reasons to say, like especially talking about the students who are doing suicides is one of the common reason it's happening around. And I'm telling you some reason about it, like when in a specific way, if I have to say like why they are doing such things, I'll just say we as a human being, if we are not getting our result better, if we are not fulfilling our requirement of what we are trying to achieve and what we are actually looking for, then it's very obvious thing that we will do something which is not in our hand, and we will automatically start thinking like what we will do which is not for our beneficial side. So that is the reason I think when we are not getting our proper proper result, we don't get our proper things in our favor, we do some things like any other activity, and suicide, committing suicide is one of the major thing what we do. But suicide, it's normally said that suicide is not a courageous thing for anyone, because being a person, if you are doing suicide yourself, it's a sign of a coward person. So it's showing that you are a coward man, because like doing suicide, committing suicide is not the ultimate solution of any problem. So I just suggest to all the students and all of us, like whatever the reason, whatever the problem, difficulties we are being through, we should always be very strong to ourselves, and we should understand the fact, because ultimately suicide is not the right thing to do. So I never support that, and I suggest everyone not to do such things. It's very bad for humanity and bad for everyone. Yeah, over to you.
What about Rahul?
Thank you so much, Leah, for giving me this golden opportunity. We are talking about why the students are committing suicide in India, and it is not in India. It is being happened in all over the India, over the world, and I think the main reason is a highly fee structure in the every institute, because every parents want to make his children to be an engineer, IAS officer, and many other government officer, and they will pay a high fee of that institute for preparing the examination. But the fee structure is a pressure of the students, because they think, if I am not able to, if I can't clear that exam, then what think about my parents? What do you think about my neighbors? And that is the reason. And these pressures gives him an idea for committing suicide.
The main reason is also is like our education system.
Yeah.
Because in education system lots of problems. If a form is come out, then seats is limited and our population is higher. Then many more students is applied the formula. Like suppose for example of in institute quota. Quota has every year like 1 lakh student is doing admission, and but in IIT, JEE, this type of forms is only 5,400 around seats in all over the India, and every institute is committed to like 100% placement. Then every student like dream to I am also join the IIT's campus, but how can it possible? If the seats is only 5,000, 6,000 and the student is 1 lakh per year, then it is definitely not possible. Then our government is also doing something like this bill to suddenly stop this type of institute, like not doing this type of commitment. Like if anyone is student like committed, you are definitely you are selected in IIT like a dream. If after that result it out not selected, definitely is become upset, and in like you already you tell that about the fee structure is very highly. And about parents is also like parents is also dream that my children is also become a IITian. This type of failure is not accepted every student. This is highly but committed society students. In every year, this type of cases is increased in quota and all over the India also. Then education policy must also improvement our government.
Look, first of all, talking about students.
Definitely, we are discussing about the
Talking about students, I'll say, being a student, we should understand that thing first, like what we are actually trying to get, what we are actually looking to get. You know, like we all are students and we all have some different goals and different view and different achievement to achieve. But we sometimes, or in some point, we just forget the thing that why we are here and why we are actually and what we are actually trying to get. You know, it's very common thing. It's very actually it's a serious thing to say. Like you know, when we are in our small age, like when we are in a 10th class, 9th class, we always say that thing, and we always used to call that thing. You know, I want to be a doctor, I want to be an engineer. But by the time we would realize that thing, you know, whatever the thing, whatever the kind of job I'll get, I'll do on that. There is no any argument on that. I'll definitely adjust myself. So I just say adjustment is the way to kill your happiness. I never suggest any student to do adjustment in your life, because you know if you are starting your career through adjustment, you will never get your proper self-satisfaction on that work, and that is the reason. Like at a certain time, we desperately try to get anything. Doesn't matter what kind of work it is, we are just trying to get a thing. So like he said, government always gives us vacancies and all such things. Like he suddenly, like in upcoming time, suddenly government just gave the vacancy of any kind of status like Indian railway or anything. And on that vacancy, there is very limited seat over there. Like suppose there is 1,000 seats, and we all are here. We are a lakh of students. We are waiting to get that job. So I just say a very simple thing and in a simple note. Like, do you all really want to be the railway candidate? Do you really have the dream to achieve? Really, do you are trying to get that thing? Most of the students they will say, no, we are just trying to make an adjustment. We are just trying to get a better life. Doesn't matter what kind of work they will or the company will provide. I just manage myself. So if you are starting your career by management, by doing all such things in a managing way, it will definitely hurt you at a certain time. So I not suggest that. That is the thing which we are lacking. As a student, we are lacking that thing. So that is one thing we need to concern about it, and we need to discuss, and we need to accept that reality. First thing, and now coming to the society, like I already said, if you are not if you are not getting your requirement properly, you will definitely do some extra things, and society is one of the major factor on that. So it automatically that things automatically comes in our mind. And one more thing, like we as students always try to get a result very soon, which is not so good. There are many more celebrities and there are many more good people who used to say that thing. You know, result is a byproduct of process. If you are doing the things in the right process, you will definitely get a good result. But you have to go through that process. You have to go through that way. That whatever kind of work you are doing, are you really going through that way? Are you really going through that right process? Because if you are going in the right process, you will definitely get a right result. But if you directly try to get a proper result in your favor, it will never be possible. And there is no shortcut to be successful in life. We as a student should always be understand that thing. There is no success route to be successful. So that's
Definitely, but you are saying about the railways and many more vacancies. But doing committed society like a student, what? Like after the 10th exam, like in we are talking about, I'm talking about like quotas. In quota, we all know that quota is a very higher amount of institutes in India.
same process happens there. Like suppose you are a student, you are trying to get an IITL,
Okay.
but there is very limited seat over there.
But
and you couldn't.
definitely, but in quotas, lots of institutes and every institute take like a 100% placement like this.
Okay.
And how can it is possible like 100% placement? If in IIT and medical fields, limited seats in every year, and every year, like data coming from say, like 1 lakh to 1,20,000 students every year joining the quotas. And how can you say that every
It's a very
student?
simple thing. You know it now. You already knowing that thing.
Who can you know that like each student after 10 is also the time teenager and his guardian said to, like a parents institutes like doing promise like if you are paying the whole amount then we are definitely get result 100% like
Okay.
then after that
So it's very stupid thing. Like if you are 10th class student, you are trying to get that admission on or quota. But you are just saying, no, I'm just a teenager, so I couldn't understand that.
Not
that
I.
reason. No, you couldn't understand that reason why it's happening. I mean, if I got admission, I'll definitely get placement. But obviously, there are many more seniors to you who could give you the proper advice, and you should automatically
your parents is also take care of this type of
you
students.
will definitely get some additional information from your elder. Like, it's not 100% sure. I mean, definitely, if he is making advertisement that I will definitely do a placement 100%, that's safe for him. But you should understand the thing. No, there is no surety in life, man. So how could you be totally sure to that?
No,
that
I am
advertisement?
totally not. But this type of advertisement is also government try to suit the stock.
They are
No?
just manipulating. No. Yeah, that's a different thing that you should protest against them that you should stop that advertising and all such thing. But being a person, you should also know the fact as well. Like
Definitely.
if you are trying to get the thing, you should aware before to get the thing. You should be aware.
Actually, in this year, case in coming in April, his student name is Kriti.
Okay.
When he is doing suicide, after that his suicide notes will be found. One note is right for our government. The dear government, please immediately stop this type of institute because this type of institute is like a helpless to in student, like in like rush type of competition. And not every student face this type of competition. If anyone not available to face it, then
I'm telling you one thing. We as a human, especially we as an Indians, we always try to get some facilities from government, or maybe we are trying that it automatically comes or automatically will be happen that I will be adjust our itself. No, I'm telling you. Because being a person, if you really have some potential to do some works, if you are really good at something, there is a world, man. There is a world to express your feelings, to express your everything. So why you are doing it? Why you are putting some efforts and why you are totally putting yourself in a limited way? Like why you are always thinking that I will get admission on that school, on that college, on that issue. Why don't you think something big? Like there is a world. There are many more countries. You should elaborate yourself. You should evolve yourself to get admission in other countries.
definitely, but is just not definitely, but I'm case saying about the Kriti's case. Kriti is also right for her mother also. Then mother, I want to read literature, but you are forced fully to.
She is a coward girl. I
Who said like 17, 18 years, like boys and girls is only teenagers. His grandparents is doing this type of courses.
His
And his-
lack of sense, his lack of mind, his lack of education kills her. I'll say just that thing. Because if she would be understood girl, if she would be a sensible girl, he would never took that step. Because being a 17 years girl, I'll not blame her totally because she is just 17 and she shouldn't have taken that decision. Because being a 17 years girl, it's not the right decision to take. I not suggest that thing, and I not.
Suggest in a student life, everything one want to know at least one time. Yeah, what she want, yeah, what he want. Because
it's showing that it's somewhere there is some faults of their of our parents, and there is some faults of government as well.
Definitely.
But you can't destroy your life for that reason. That's not the right way.
This type of reason like lots of expense and after that result is not get na. Definitely is never crowd places.
No, man. I mean, you should check that thing all around us. Like there are many more people who are traveling and who are daily facing a lot of problem. And the problem is like it will kill everyone. But we are adjusting ourselves. We are always trying to fight in our life. We are always trying to be better in our life day by day. So we should understand that our society is not the ultimate solution of any problem.
Yeah, you are telling that the many people are suffering from a very big problem. They didn't commit suicide. But as a being a student, I can understand what is the pressure on study. Because if you are preparing for an examination, and first you tell that you should figure out what is your interest in what field. What field you are interested, but our parents didn't understand, and we understand our potential, but our parents didn't understand. I'm interested in literature, but my parents want to take
You should raise your voice against your father, against your parents. You should raise your father.
But parents.
No, if your parents is not
but every student
understandable,
has a potential to raise his voice against his father.
that's your fault.
No,
So that's your fault. If
your
you
fault.
don't have courage, if you don't have courage to raise your voice for your guardian and for your family, then how could you think to yourself that I could do the things in a better in a big way, or I will do everything in a big state?
Yeah, but
So it's showing that you are out kind of mentality.
no, I don't think like this, because you know that we are suffering from our parents' money. And if I rise against my father, then my father what say?
Actually, the problem is not the like this time, previous time, like yearly examination and yearly classes. Every parent is like what, like a so type of conservative mindset. Then from beginning we are only adjusted. Like parents said, you are doing this type of thinking. We are adjusted. Not we are talking freely mind. This the main reason of committed suicide. Now this is main point. Like not fully express our what problem for our parents, because every parent is not same.
Like we are not trying to get out from our comfort zone. I'm telling you, that's a reality. Yeah, like he said, if our father doesn't give us money, then what would I do? Because I'm a student, I'm a child. What, bro? You are now 20 plus age, so you could adjust yourself and you could survive yourself anywhere. So why you are totally dependent to your father, and why you are being afraid that your father will say say something which is not in your favor, and I can't do anything against my father. It's your
I'm
it's
not
your
telling about me. I am telling about the student.
And,
Because
also I'm
because the
telling you
students
that-
are preparing for IITG in the age of 16 and 17 and 18. But how, if they are working, then
Then how can he prepare?
yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely, but for that, like you are saying, ki, I want to be a IITian, but my father doesn't support me to go on that way. But he just pressurizing you to go on that field, on a different field. But you are not interested to go on that field. So now it's a decision time, it's a twisting time to decide that what should I do. If I go on that field, it means I'm killing my dream, I'm killing my ambition. So it is also gonna be very bad for me. But if I go on that way, definitely I'll be very happy by choosing my own choice, and I'll be very happy in my all time. So that is your twisting time to take a decision. So just decide. On that time, you just adjust to yourself. That time, you just suddenly start thinking to yourself, no, no, no. If I adjust myself on that field too, I will be happy on that way as well. So that's the wrong decision you took before to start your life, and that is the main problem. We as a student should understand that thing. There are many more students, many more guardians, many more sons who couldn't understand their actual ambition, what they are actually trying to be. So for them, for their cases, it's be like no, it doesn't matter. Whatever his father will say, he will do that thing, and he couldn't even understand that logic, that what is my actual ambition. Like I am. My father has given me that idea that you should go to a teacher field. And I also have that curiosity. By the time, I'm not saying I have that dream throughout my life. I have created that dream. And I'm now trying to be that teacher, and I'm putting my everything on that field. So sometimes it's not a like, sometimes you should automatically create some interest, and you should artificially create some interest on any specific work. So it also happen. But if you really have a dream already, if you really decided, if you have already decided that I will go on that field, but my father is not supporting you, it means you are lacking something. Then that is a twisting time. You should take some bold decision at that time. So I will just say, just have a belief in yourself. Don't worry about what people gonna say, what others gonna say, or even what your father gonna say. Just try to convince your father, because ultimately he is your father. If you putting your every efforts to convince your father, he is your father. He will definitely understand your problem. He will definitely understand your interest. So that is a twisting thing. So you should understand that thing, and you should take some initiative on that. Yeah, that's so it's totally depend on us. So being a student, you should always keep remember that thing. Whatever you're trying to be, just convince your father. Even if he is not supporting you, he will definitely support you. But for that, it's your duty to make him believe or make him understand what you are actually trying to be and what you are actually trying to do.
So you like to stay a little more out? Then the guys, now time to conclusion. The conclusion is, according to me, in every student, at first if you are facing any type of problem, then at first you should talk with your parents, like to convince them that I am facing this type of problems and trying to resolve problem. Suicide is not a solution. Suicide is a very bad thing. So guys, don't do this. Thank you. And about what Kailash, any conclusion?
Yeah, like I already said, being a student or being a man, suicide is not the ultimate solution of any problem. We should understand the problem first, and we should try to get solution for that. So we should always be very positive about our life, because being a person, we should always face some. We will definitely face some problem in our upcoming time or throughout our life. But for that, we should always be very ready to get it, or we should always be very ready to face that problem. So I just suggest, I am strongly denying that work, the committing of suicide. I am strongly against that thing. So I will not support, and I definitely say, just believe on yourself and everything will be possible. So don't do suicide and do any kind of other activities.
Rahul.
I want to say that first our parents need to change our mentality, because they have a mentality of if my son get a government job, then his life is successful. But this is not good, because because now there are many fields to do some to do to do something extra, and we should go that field, and we have to prove, because you know that if I choose my career, in my opinion, if I am not able to success on that field, then even if my parents are giving me giving me
Opportunities.
giving me opportunity, if my parents are supporting me, then I will do anything.
Anything else, sir?
बस क्या देखो क्या कर रहे हैं ओह सॉरी क्रिएट पोस्ट
और कुछ?
नो कम क्या लिखने का क्या लिखेंगे
क्रिएट सर पब्लिक, हाँ सर कुछ भी लिख दे अपना आराध्या @आराध्या स्पोकन सेक्टर।
Very tough job, yeah.
Huh? It's a tough job. A person like you, and why haven't you called my, haven't you picked my call?
Because
Okay, I knew that. I knew that a person like you could never be changed. No,
You are wrong.
नहीं ले
no,
रहा
no, really. A person like you could never be changed. And I can understand that thing.
सर पहले @ लगाती है,
And that is the sign of
दूसरा
you
लगा
know,
@ पहले।
unsuccessful person.
शीट नहीं ले रहा
But definitely you will be success, and you will definitely get some good things in your life. But there are some
जी सर,
problems in your
नहीं ले रहा रे
It's a sign of a lazy person. It's a sign of a unsuccessful person. Because you know, definitely you can be a successful person, but you can't be a like recognizable person. No one will follow you. You can't be a what? Like
Like an ideal.
you can't be a real person. Successful is very important. It's very easy thing. You can manage. It's very simple thing. You can be successful on any
पोस्ट कर दे
field. But for an ideal, to be an ideal person, you need to influence someone.
हो ही रहा है
Say every day
बंद
when
कीजिए
you
इसको।
morning work.
Morning we know this.
Actually, yesterday we are organized a party in Bangladesh.
So that is